Hi, Barbara Allen here. I am author of the book Conquering Arthritis. It's been the #1 best-selling arthritis book on Amazon.com for over 5 years. Today I'm here to talk with you about arthritis treatment and how to avoid accidentally overdosing on acetaminophen. Now, acetaminophen is the most popular painkiller in the U.S. It's also known under the trade name Tylenol, and in many parts of the world it's called paracetamol. And it's in over 95 different commercial products under at least that many brand names, and it's in a combination with other drugs, like often in cold formulations, and at least 100 more different products beyond that. So during cold and flu season, it's especially important for people with arthritis to be aware of the possibility of overdosing on acetaminophen. And taking just twice the recommended dose of acetaminophen can often cause acute liver failure. So we're not talking a little consequence, we're talking a really big consequence if you just accidentally take twice the recommended dose. And it's the reason I'm bringing it up is because it happens to an alarming number of people each year. And just a few years ago, when I was able to find figures for this, 56,000 people visited the emergency room in the U.S. due to accidentally poisoning themselves with acetaminophen, and over 100 people died because they unintentionally took too much. And the trend is that these numbers are going up, apparently. So the reason this happens is because acetaminophen is found in so many different products. And if you're taking the recommended maximum dose from just 2 acetaminophen containing products, you can accidentally have an overdose right there. So, for example, the maximum recommended dose is 400 milligrams a day, which equals 8 extra strength acetaminophen pills per day. And you might easily take that much if you have arthritis pain. And now let's say you get the flu and you decide to take a cold and flu product for your aches and your stuffiness. And it turns out that many of them include acetaminophen as a primary ingredient. And so suddenly you're dosing yourself with an extra 1,000 milligrams every 6 hours or so. So that's how people go into that acute liver failure without realizing it. But the problem actually doesn't end there, because some people might get a headache and actually pop some Excedrin. So that's another 500 milligrams per dose. Or some people get in car accidents or have some dental work done. And it turns out that prescription narcotics like Vicodin and Percocet also contain from 325 milligrams to 750 milligrams of acetaminophen inside each pill. So especially when you're in pain from dental work or a car accident, you're not always looking at the fine print on those labels and realizing that Percocet or Vicodin even contains those things. So then there's an added problem that's unique. It's not unique, but it's more prominent with people with arthritis than in the general population, and that is that one of the underlying causes of arthritis for many people is something called suboptimal detoxification pathways. So that means that some people don't have the level of enzymes necessary to detoxify acetaminophen as well as their neighbor. And because the detoxification system gets swamped, that's why people with arthritis often have problems with drug reactions and food reactions. Is once you've hit the level that you can take care of in one day or 1 hour or however long that period is, when you get more things that need to be detoxified, you just don't have the capacity to do it. So someone else eating the exact same diet, taking the exact same drugs, might have no problem at all, but it's an underlying susceptibility that is actually made you more susceptible to arthritis, that now when you're taking the very drugs that are supposed to be helping you feel better, you may be going into this liver failure at even lower doses than a normal person. So how to avoid this? First off, if you have any known food or chemical sensitivities, it's best to assume that your self-oxidation channels are already challenged enough, like you've already kind of hit the level that you can hold even without taking something like acetaminophen in your system. So it's probably just better not to take this drug to begin with. So that also means that things like Vicodin, Percocet, cold remedies, they're not going to be for you. You're going to need to find some different way. Then the second line of defense is carefully reading on the label of any cold and flu medicine or painkiller that you're considering taking, just to see how much acetaminophen it really contains. So these recommendations are actually for healthy adults, this 4,000 milligrams a day. And I've talked with geriatric nurses and nurses in facilities where people are taking pain pills over long periods of time, and they referred me to guidelines put out by the clinical pharmacist Sandra Dawson, who's also a well-known lecturer on pain management and long-term care, and she suggests that healthy young adults should never actually exceed 3,250 milligrams per day, and that people who are vulnerable to the damage from acetaminophen should not take more than 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams per day. And that's actually according to Dr. William Lee of the University of Texas Southwest Medical Center. So that lower maximum adult includes the healthy elderly, since liver and kidney functions decline with age. So just to very briefly recap, if you're taking acetaminophen and you have arthritis, you need to be careful. One, just because you're likely to have a lower capacity than a healthy adult. If you're taking it long term, don't read in that 4,000 milligrams is a healthy dose. Bring it back down to 3,250 a day, and if you're older, even if you're quite healthy, don't take more than 2,000 to 3,000 a day. And if you have known food and chemical sensitivities that are an ongoing issue in your life, don't take it at all. So I wish you a healthy and happy getting through whatever the cold periods are in the world, wherever you are, and that you don't get the cold or flu or have any of these bad things happen. But if you do, stay safe. Barbara Allen here. Looking forward to talking with you on the next Conquering Arthritis video.